Hadn't planned it, but that's a breakup song from Little Mix. The reason I say I haven't planned it is because I'm now going to be talking to Zoey from Boys and Maughan, and it's all about separated families. So breakup song was kind of appropriate, wasn't it, Zoey?
Yes.
All right, well, good morning. Welcome along to Academy FM. Now, you're from Boys and Maughan, and we're talking about separated families during this lockdown period, because obviously there's extra pressure on families at the moment. So what would your be advice for parents at the moment who are co-parenting?
I think try and be adult during these unprecedented times. I mean, the expectation must be that parents will care for children by acting sensibly and safely when making decisions regarding the arrangements for them. But it's really important, obviously, to keep some sense of normality for children, because it's difficult for us as adults to comprehend. So it must be really confusing for them at the moment too.
Okay, so we're hearing lots of different conflicting stories about the pandemic at the moment. And is it okay for children to be moved from one home to the other, from each separated parent? Is it okay still?
Yeah, I mean, at the start of the lockdown, there was some confusion about whether children could be moved between homes, but the government later clarified that children under the age of 18 could, in fact, be moved. But ultimately, obviously, it's down to the parents to make a sensible assessment as to whether children should be moved between homes by considering the health of the children and the parent, and whether there's any vulnerable individuals within households.
Right, so there is still pressure on the court system to actually still operate, but obviously they're operating under restrictions like all the rest of us are as well. Are they still making decisions about divorce and custody and arrangements of children in these situations?
I mean, the courts are still operating. However, we are experiencing and getting to grips with a very different way of working. For example, all court hearings presently are taking place remotely, either via telephone or video apps such as Skype or Zoom. On the whole, they are working well. However, some hearings, particularly contested final hearings, are having to be adjourned because guidance suggests that, those type of cases are unsuitable for a remote hearing, which understandably is leaving some clients disappointed because it's prolonging, proceedings for them.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's one of those things at the moment. Everything is being dragged out, and for
everything's just paused.
It's for our own safety that it's all being paused, but it is a pressure on emotions and relationships as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's a massive strain on relationships at the moment because, couples and families are finding themselves being together more than they would normally because, people are out to work and schools, doing other activities that wouldn't necessarily involve the rest of the family or their partner. So I think, the situation at the moment is putting an awful lot of strain on relationships, and some people may well be considering that, there are issues in the relationship which might not have been there before.
Right, so if they find these issues are insurmountable and they decide to separate during a lockdown, what can they do? Because they're all sharing the same house, aren't they? So.
Yeah, I mean, it's very difficult. I think, the advice really initially would be to consider the relationship as a whole and not just based on the difficulties that they might be facing at the moment. The Relate Counselling website has some great advice and tips for keeping relationships healthy during this time of self-isolation and social distancing. So I think that could be a first step for people who may be considering that they want to separate before obviously taking the drastic step of speaking to a lawyer. But it is difficult when you're having to share the same household, and even couples that are going through divorce at the moment are still very much living together because finances don't allow for them to live in separate households. So it's a very difficult time at the moment for a lot of people.
Right, but of course you guys at Boys and Maughan are going to be there helping out as best you can, even if you're not in your office.
Sorry, go on.
Even if you're not in your own offices at the moment.
We are working remotely, so we are there for our existing clients, and obviously anyone who wants to discuss any options that might be available to them. All of our lawyers have direct contact numbers and email addresses, which can be found on our website at boysandmaughan.co.uk. We're available to have, even if it's just a chat about options, really, we are there, and we're assisting clients as much as we can, albeit working from home at the moment.
Keeping safe at home, but still working. That's how we like it, isn't it?
Yeah, we're trying our best during these times. But yeah, there's a lot of uncertainty out there for people, but there is help available.
Right. Well, Zoe, thank you for joining us this morning. And
thank you very much.
Like I said, you can get in touch with you guys at Boys and Morn by the direct line.
Yeah, our website is boysandmorn.co.uk, and our office number is 01843 234 000.
Thank you, Zoe, and keep yourself safe.
Lovely. Thanks, Patrick. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.